squiggles in through the eye.
Now that man's name is Donald Marshall. How many of you have heard of him before?
There's a spiral around the optic nerve all the way to a certain point, and it's driven there by taste. And they've said once it gets there, it has the taste of butterscotch, and then it does a feeling like holding your breath and going,
Oh look, it's the Pope and Boy George and other people, all with a black eye.
We'll start with Kid Buu, a rap artist who has publicly stated that he approached Clone-Aid and said, when I die, I want you to clone me. Well, people thought he was absolutely nuts, right? And making it up, and he just wants to draw attention to himself. Well, guess what?
you know how they cover up their one eye?
Oh yeah.
That means two things. That means watch out, you don't get the lizard to stick the thing in the eye. Then they go, shh.
Yeah.
Effectively, we're ruled by vampires. If you think that sounds crazy, then research William Tompkins, who is a really interesting naval whistleblower.
I honestly don't think the world is ready for this video. Hi guys, my name is Kaze. Welcome and welcome back. So I went through this rabbit hole yesterday and oh my, you guys, have you heard of the parasite called the Vril? Well, brace yourself because that's what you're going to be looking at on this video. And without further ado, let's dive right in.
The Vril Society is an enigmatic group linked to ancient occult knowledge, believed in a primal life force energy called Vril. The Vril Society was founded in 19th century, was deeply connected to a hidden tradition that sought to tap into the energies of the universe, what they called Vril. In occult circles, Vril isn't just a word, it's an esoteric force, akin to the concept of prana in yoga or qi in Chinese philosophy, a life force that flows through all living things. This secret society believed that by understanding and channeling Vril, one could transcend physical limitations and access profound spiritual power. It was thought to be a force of cosmic transformation, capable of healing, manifesting, and even controlling natural elements. Vril was seen as a form of magic, not bound by the conventional laws of physics, but rather aligned with the higher laws of cosmos. The Vril Society wasn't just about power, it was about awakening to the more deeper mystical reality. They believed that ancient wisdoms such as sacred geometry, found in witchcraft, alchemical practices, and even rituals that tap into the elements could be harnessed to understand and manipulate the energy. Like modern-day witchcraft, the Vril energy was linked to symbols and rituals that connected practitioners to the unseen forces of nature. In their esoteric practices, the members of Vril Society delved into occult sciences, astrology, divination, and even the study of extraterrestrial lore, which they believed had the profound ties to understanding the Vril. Their secret rites were designed to awaken the spiritual consciousness, allowing practitioners to channel this universal energy and ultimately change the course of human evolution. Could the Vril energy still be influencing the world? Some believe that by tapping into these ancient teachings, we can unlock the true potential of human spirit, transforming reality itself, one intention at a time.
Okay, the thing squiggles in through the eye.
Now that man's name is Donald Marshall. How many of you have heard of him before?
There's a spiral around the optic nerve all the way to a certain point, and it's driven there by taste. And they've said once it gets there, it has the taste of butterscotch, and then it does a feeling like holding your breath and going,
Oh look, it's the Pope and Boy George and other people, all with a black eye. Isn't that coincidental?
Since consciousness is gone, the body is absolutely, totally dominated.
So somebody tell me why all of these celebrities, every single person that we've watched or listened to growing up throughout our whole lives, why have they all ended up with black eyes? And it's not just one-time things either. They don't just have a black eye once either, do they? So can somebody just fill me in? What is all the black eyes for? Why did they all have a black eye? Simon Cowell, Robert Downey Jr., Richard Branson, all of these people with a black eye.
So all of these maggots, that's why once you die, your body just start to defecate and a lot of maggots start to come out of your body and eat it up. Well, what you call this reptilian things is none other than a maggot that they evolved. And that maggot, they call it Vril. And they literally let this shit penetrate your left eye. They let this shit penetrate your ocular system. Okay, let me show it to you. They let this shit penetrate your ocular system. This is how this shit look under the microscope. That is your reptilian. Let me show it to you again. Now, you see this? That is all these parasites under the microscope. And guess what? They all look like snake. This is your reptilian. And now, this upgrade version of a maggot, this is how it look. And that, my friend, is your reptilian. Now, after these things live inside of you for a while, you don't get rid of it. That thing get comfortable in you, because right now, if anybody's sick, they told you got parasite, they subscribe you medications to get rid of them. Or you stop doing certain things to get rid of them. But if you don't get rid of them, they make a home into yourself. We have people right now that have pretty much maggot living in their body. There's this dude that been having maggot living inside of his ear. You have this dude that have maggot that literally make a big hole in his face. And this maggot been living like for weeks and months on that person's face until they pull and pluck this maggot out. This is the same process. So these entities, these little creature maggot, they call the Vril, they let this shit penetrate your left eye. And now this shit go to your ocular system and sit back and start to make a home inside of your brain. Okay, so when they call you the reptilian brain, that's what it is. So now you become that entity. So now you're no longer a person, because that maggot take over your consciousness. Since you don't get rid of it, now it control your mentality. It control your behavior. So now what? You're no longer human.
That is crazy. What they're trying to say is that this is what the elites use to insert to their left eye. That's why the eye is always black. Is that what they're trying to say? Because, that would make so much sense. Because when you look at some of the things they do, that is something. Let me know what you think.
So now what? You're no longer human. Now what happened? You doing shit like an animal. You are aggressive. You do shit that is unbelievable. You want to eat flesh because that entity is feeding off your flesh. So it only makes sense you want to do what that entity do, because you're no longer human now. So you start doing shit as parasite, because the parasite lived on you to survive. So now you want to live on other people to survive. This is why you hear some horrendous shit happen to other people. You hear that person did this to kids. You hear that person did that to other people, because they no longer human anymore. This parasite take over their body, and that is your reptilian, my G. Okay, we have exactly. You know how many movies they put out like that? Countless of movies. That is your reptilian, not what you think it is. More like a parasite. Okay, so we just gonna clear this joint out for people, because there's too long people living in the lies. Okay, this is after a surgery. They remove one from someone completely head. Look at how it look like. You see that? It's after they remove one from someone.
What?
That's how it looked like. After they remove it.
Wow. Damn.
Okay, so definitely this is the back of it. When they remove it from you, this is after surgery. They open it because they have to cut the top. When they remove the top, what it look like? A freaking entity. Yes, sir. Because it's been feeding into the human flesh. which is your brain. This is why they gave you a Ninja Turtle. This is Kang. If anybody watch Ninja Turtle, you remember the brain? This is Kang. That's what you're looking at. That's where they create the characters from. Look at the way it look. This is Kang. That's why they show you Kang was inside of a tank. The chest person of a tank. He was no longer inside of someone.
So, here's an unpopular opinion, but one that I am convinced about. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they weren't actually heroes the way that we all believed that they were. In fact, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, in my opinion, this is all just speculation and only for entertainment TikTok, nothing else. But in my opinion, these guys were just a warring faction of all the other bad guys. For example, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they always battled with people like Shredder. Now, Shredder was probably their main arch enemy throughout this show. But every time they defeated this man, what did they always do to celebrate? They went back to their underground reptile lifestyle and they all ate cheese pizza time and time again. And if you remember back to your childhood, these guys absolutely loved pizza. They couldn't get enough of it. And if you don't understand the reference to cheese pizza right now, come into my comment section right here. Have a read of these comments, because I guarantee you right now, you will see exactly what the reference is in the comment section. So if you do know, pop it in the comment section here and just tell everybody what it means. If you don't know, come into the comment section and learn. So yeah, just to recap, they left their underground reptilian tunnels, they came up to the top of Earth and battled away with other bad guys. Then they went back down into their reptilian underground tunnels and had cheese pizza. That's my theory. That's my speculation. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Oh, and if you're still not following me yet, what the flippin' heck have you been doing? Follow me, like the video, comment, repost, and then come over to my profile and tap this notification bell at the top here and click all, so you don't miss none of my future posts.
What? I mean, yo, this is crazy.
How long has this been happening? Like, we know about it's happening now, but I mean, like, how far back? Like, does this go all the way back to Egyptian days and prior to Egyptian days? I mean,
well, they were in Egypt, ancient Egypt times, yeah. They've always been around. Vrills and other different things, they've always been around.
Anyway, Queen Elizabeth is really in with these things, okay? Her family has been for a long time. Now, these bloodlines, all that they are super inbred people, okay? What the edicts of Lucifer, like, my family are down with this stuff. That's why I don't talk to them anymore. Inbreeding makes you strong. Pedophilia keeps you young, and helping lizards gives you good luck or something from the devil and stuff. They used to do this thing, kill your firstborn son, it gives you fortune in life or something. And it's pretty sick. So anyways, yeah, all that stuff is, true, and they know it. They just keep it going for like some stupid club, like the Devil Club. Ooh, we're cool, we're evil.
I fell. I was walking down the stairs. I hit my head on the banister. Jay Leno's on video. His whole left eye, his whole left side of his face is black and blue. And he has fallen down a hill, he claims. What's going on is something called soul scalping. And this is where a draconian, viril-powered parasite, a reptilian, comes in through the left eye and within 2 weeks kills the soul of the person it's inhabited, but takes over their memories and their consciousness. And it appears as though these people are not going through an initiation. They're not being punished for anything, but they're notables and people of influence. Now, we don't know this, but I'm just surmising why these individuals would have the black eye, why they would have the reptilian consciousness. And that's because they're people of influence. And that would be of interest to the race who really is our masters. Now, we think we're top of the food chain. We eat cows, we eat fish. Fish and cows eat other things, et cetera, et cetera. There's a pyramid of who's on top of what food chain. Well, what if we're not on top of the food chain?
Right.
The thing about the Black Eye Club and this reptilian incursion through the eye, and I'll go into a little more detail of that in a moment, is that we're told by whistleblowers and we're told by certain text that to maintain the life force that they have just assumed, they need to have high stem cell blood and in large quantities, the kind of blood that would come from a baby. And if they can't have a baby's blood, then it's going to be adrenochrome. And only if this were true, then it would go a long way to explaining the child. The deep underground military bases where there's baby factories, blood is used and adrenochrome is created. What if our masters require this? And what if our masters were all the people that we respect and admire and vote for, but they're really no longer themselves? Now, let me take you a little bit further into how this works. It's really curious how we've been shown what this reptilian entity looks like. There's a photograph of Salvador Dali, a real initiate. By the way, I studied with the same Kabbalist who taught Salvador Dali. She never showed me this. It's an image of a reptilian that he's holding up like this. And it's about, 6-7 inches tall. Now, this reptilian, sort of where we have our third eye, has a protruding horn-like figure in the center of its forehead, on top of its head. That's called the proboscis. That comes off and goes into the eye, and within 2 weeks kills the human soul and takes over the memories and consciousness. That's what they call it, soul scalping. And they have found really similar reptilians in animals that they don't understand how it's gotten into the animal's head, how it's gotten into their brain. Animals who were behaving strangely and had to be put down. So the whole thing is really mysterious. And those who have had the black eye very often start behaving differently. Now, have we seen Trump with the black eye? No. We've seen him with a red left eye. And is he behaving erratically? Oh, he's doing some really cool stuff, right? But also, 1 week he's coming out and talking about the evils of mRNA and what's going on in Israel. Then the next week he's saying crazy things about Gaza and promoting AI and mRNA shots. So it seems really inconsistent. Now, this may not be necessarily due to a virile parasite. It could be clones, and we'll come on to that in a moment. The thing I've said time and time again is that I believe that vampires are allegorical for adrenochrome harvesting. So if we have a master race who enters in and takes over humans of influence, and they can live forever, what's uncertain is, do they have to jump to another body after a couple hundred years or after that body dies? Do they have immortality, but yet they need blood to survive? What does that sound like? That's Dracula all over. That's the story of vampires, which I think is allegorical to the draconian reptilian race who needs blood to stop from losing their human form. Now, we all know that Eisenhower allegedly made a deal with aliens. In exchange for humans, they gave us some technology. Now, there's many theories about that. One is that he said no to the Palladians, but yes to the Draconians. And the Draconians are those who rule the planet today in this school of thought, in this conspiracy, if you will. And they are the ones that require the blood. Effectively, we're ruled by vampires. If you think that sounds crazy, then research William Tompkins, who is a really interesting naval whistleblower who said that not only were the Draconians working with the Nazis to give them technology, but they were working with the Americans as well. And they created cloning labs in Antarctica. And the energy of these reptilians is Vril. So what's Vril? Vril is best known from a book, one of my favorite books, Vril and the Power of the Coming Race. A book, I think it was 1871, it was published, that talks about this underground society, Virilia. And they have this energy called Vril, which can be used for good, it can be used for bad. It can be used for healing, for warfare. It could create longevity of life and create new life forms. So it seems as though this Vril energy is behind the reptilians who are causing the Black Eye Club, causing the takeover of these humans. And curiously, Vril is a name of a society that sort of predates the Nazis, and it appears to be like an inner circle of the Thule Society. And this is the real thought leaders of the Nazi Party before they became the Nazis. And there you have William Tompkins saying that, you know, the Vril reptilians were working with the Nazis. What Thompson also said is that the reptilians need blood. Again, another source saying they need blood. The younger the blood, the better. In lieu of young blood, adrenochrome will do. So I really have no doubt the whole vampire mythology is about this master race of Draconians who are soul scalping notable figures to maintain in control of the planet's direction. And if you think all this is nonsense, cloning, really, come on, no, it doesn't exist, right? Well, search on the patents for cloning. I'll read you one here, US 5356804A. Go check that out. You won't believe what you find. Cloning is illegal in most countries, but in certain places you can do it. In Canada, Clone Aid is a company created by a really strange individual who founded a whole UFO-based religion, Raphaelism, and it is a very curious form of cloning. And this segues us into another category of mine of cloning, multiple clones. We'll start with Kid Buu, a rap artist who has publicly stated that he approached Clone Aid and said, "When I die, I want you to clone me." Well, people thought he was absolutely nuts, right? And making it up, and he just wants to draw attention to himself. Well, guess what? He comes on an Instagram Live with a sweater, and I think it was a hat, 2 items of clothing that have his Clone Ad number, the logo of Clone Ad, which by the way is a Star of David with a swastika in the middle. And he did an Instagram Live where he introduced his 2nd and 3rd generation clones. Now, you can find many examples on the internet of people saying that's all rubbish. Here's how he did it. Let me take you through this 15-minute Photoshop example. Interesting. Well, he has the Clone Ad number. He's authenticated.
You know how they cover up their one eye?
Oh yeah.
That means that means two things. That means watch out, you don't get the lizard to stick the thing in the eye.
Then they go, shh.
Yeah.
Now you know the reason they're doing that. It's like, don't get the thing in your eye, and shh. Don't tell anybody you know about the things that stick the things in your eye, because you might get a thing in your eye.
Man,
Or
who's...
killed.
Yo, what in the world are we doing? I mean, this theory blew my mind. I mean, if this was true, then I think we are more cooked than we thought we were. I mean, if the world is ruled by vampires, is that the reason why they removed the bells? You know, like, I'm not starting to think things very differently right now because, wow, that is crazy.
What is your eye okay? What happened to your eye? I noticed there's a bruise there.
Well, it wasn't. I wasn't anywhere near France, so. But.
What does that mean?
No,
I didn't notice his
First
lady of France.
Getting slapped, you know.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, no, I was just horsing around with Little X, and I said, "Go ahead, punch me in the face," and he did. Turns out, even a 5-year-old punching you in the face actually does.
That was X that did?
Yeah.
X could do it. If you knew X, you
I
could
saw
do
his mom
it.
right now. But I didn't really feel much at the time, and then I guess it bruises up. But I just horsing around. With the
I didn't notice it actually.
I got a black eye. Remember that when I was at Kathy's house?
Yeah.
From hitting the back of my head. It was weird. And then I was, I showed everybody. I took a picture. They're like, "Oh, she's in the Black Eye Club." I mean, saying I was a Satanist. And, sometimes people, well, I don't know. It's some kind of ritual they do, and they all got a black eye.
Oh, but sometimes people, you're saying.
Sometimes you just fall down and hit your eye.
Yeah.
You can't go. That's what I was saying. That they just go way.
That is
too
crazy.
far.
I give it to Elon as a presentation from our country. Thank you, Elon.
Thank you.
Take care.
You see a lot.
Presentation from our country.
Francis recently appeared in public with a black eye. Yeah, he's got a black eye.
I didn't do it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, we actually now know what happens, because here's the interesting thing. The Pope was on a flight, and a member of the press asked the Pope how he got the black eye. And I thought the Pope's answer was pretty illuminating. Take a look.
No, innanzitutto vorremmo chiedere come sta, abbiamo visto si è fatto male.
Ah, bene, no, al momento no, ma mi sono schierato lì per salutare i bambini, non ho visto il vetro e boom.
Yo, I mean, who knew the Pope would be out here throwing punches?
A very valuable source in the office of the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. The report says the Queen was an example of an alien reptile hybrid that was injected into the British royal family. Alien eyes make people panic when looking at it.
what very often occurs is that an elite will get to a very old, ripe age, or they will die in some sort of an accident publicly. Privately, they are taken, and depending on their level, they are either age regressed or they have their consciousness basically downloaded into a clone that is an exact duplicate of them. They then disappear from the public eye forever and go into these programs or go into retirement. This is something that pops up a lot in the programs, and everyone that is served deeply knows that the elite have access, and many of them never really die.
Yo guys, I think I'm starting to buy this theory, but you know what, at the end of the day, without concrete evidence, it's hard to say for sure what's behind this alleged theory. And we've seen these images, the politicians, the celebrities, but what's really behind it? Is it a symbol of allegiance or just a secret society? And some people believe that it has a lot to do with rituals and the Illuminati. Others argue that it's just a bruise. What do you think, guys? Let me know. Is the Black Eye conspiracy just a conspiracy? And do you believe in the theory? Do you think there is more to what we've already discussed on this video, or do you think there's a different theory altogether? Let me know on the comment section. The question now is, what's next? Will you continue to see more codes, or will the truth finally come to the light? Only time will tell for sure. But for now, please do your own research. Don't believe everything you see or hear on the internet. If you've watched up to this far, please drop an alien emoji on the comment section so that I can know you've watched this video. And please share your thoughts on the comment section. I'm dying to hear what you have to say. And yeah, I think it's a wrap. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you haven't. Give this video a thumbs up and please share it. Thank you so much, guys. I love you loads, and I'll catch you in my next video. Adios.